as far as living goes, there are very few air conditioners in the entire country. I had one apartment. They refer to them as flats. I lived in a flat that had like a standing fan, and that's about all the air conditioning, and it's very hot there. It's very hot. I remember one time my companion and I, we were serving in the place called Monarch. It's a little village outside of Francistown, which is the northern city. We parked to go into an appointment, and we got out of the car, and we heard a really weird sound coming from the engine, and we went around the front, and it almost sounded like the engine was boiling, which I didn't know was possible. So we called one of the senior couples and asked them, and apparently that is possible. It really got hot enough that our engine started to boil. So prepare for a lot of heat. At least when I was there, the sister missionaries all drove cars, so that definitely helped with the heat. When we were tracting and street contacting and things, we'd walk, but getting any more than a couple blocks, we would have a car, so that was definitely much needed. Botswana is a really friendly place. I mean, obviously you have to be careful, but for the most part, people are really, really friendly. There was not a lot of crime, at least where I served in the cities. There's a little more crime out in the villages, but it's more petty theft instead of violent crimes, which is nice. There were only a couple times where I did not feel safe, and it was because of drunk people. There's a lot of drinking there, which is too bad. And then the only times I ever felt uncomfortable were when people who had been drinking would come up to us and just be a little too friendly, if you know what I mean. So as long as you avoid places where there are large groups of intoxicated people, as long as you're smart, you'll be safe. People there are very, very intelligent, but there's not a lot of opportunity for them to be educated. There's a university in Botswana, in Gaborone, where that it's growing, so it's providing for a lot more education for the people there. And those people are able to get really good jobs. A lot of other people just sort of make ends meet however they can. Along any street you walk down, there are these little stands called tuck shops. Don't ask me why they're called that. I have no idea. But a lot of people make their living with these tuck shops, which sell just snacks, drinks. It's basically like a little mini convenience store, and they just build it right on the side of the road. And as you're walking, you can just get food at these little tuck shops. So that's how a lot of people make their living, is with these little shops. That or doing a lot of just self-run businesses, at least in the places where I served. That's what I saw as far as employment for the people. As far as things to do, at least where I was serving, there honestly wasn't a lot to do. I was expecting to see all these really cool animals, and they're really just, unless you go out into the game reserves, there are a lot of chickens and goats and cats and dogs, but P days were spent most of the time just getting things done, getting shopping done, or going and playing sports just with the other missionaries. There were a couple times where we had the opportunity to go on game drives, to go see the big animals. And if you have that opportunity, absolutely take it. It is amazing to see animals like giraffes and rhinos just out in the wild. That's the kind of thing you picture when you go to Africa. And that really is an amazing experience. So if you have the opportunity to, definitely take it. Not everyone will. So as bad as this sounds, don't get your hopes up. But if you do have the opportunity, absolutely take it. Housing is very safe. They take care of the missionaries. It's not fancy, high quality in most cases, but it is safe. They take care of their missionaries there. You will almost always have access to grocery stores. They're very different from American grocery stores. I don't have experience with shopping in other countries other than the ones I served in. But you can find pretty much everything you need. They don't have some American products. They don't have peanut butter. The cereal supply is very limited, but you'll be able to find most of what you want.